Is it harder to grow and build muscle as a vegan vegetarian than someone who eats meat and dairy? Now, I just want to preface by saying I like Greg. Greg makes a lot of good content when it comes to bodybuilding. He has a lot of informational videos out there. He provides a ton of value, and I've learned so much just from watching his videos. But in saying that, there's a lot of things that he says that I don't agree with. I've made videos about him in the past, he's commented on them, and we've gone back and forth. But when Greg says that it is harder to build muscle as a vegan or vegetarian than it is a meat eater, that's when I feel like I have to step in and sort of set the record straight and talk about this. I think it's important to talk about this because it's not just Greg. I have a lot of people who ask me, how do you get in the nutrients? How do you make sure you're getting in all the nutrients as a vegetarian or vegan to make sure you're building muscle, to make sure you're growing? And it's one of the most common questions that I get asked. Now let's talk about this. Is it harder? In my opinion, this whole video is going to be my opinion, but this is backed by science. It's not hard. It's not harder. I wouldn't say it's harder at all. In fact, I would say, I'm not going to say it's easier. I'm going to say it's about the same. Eating meat, building muscle, eating meat versus building muscle on a plant-based diet, on a vegan, vegetarian diet, it's the same. There's no difference whatsoever. Now, when people like Greg, what he brings up is getting in your amino acid profile, making sure you're getting in your whole proteins, making sure you're getting in, your complete amino acid profile of protein. And that's a fair point. I mean, when you look at meat, most meat have a whole protein. It is a complete protein. But when you look at plant-based products, when you look at plant-based meats, whole foods, they're not always whole proteins. I mean, if you look at beans, they don't have all your complete amino acid profile. But when you look at meat, they do. And let's talk about this. Does it matter? Not at all. Why does it not matter? Your body does not care if one food has a whole complete amino acid profile or if it doesn't. The only thing your body cares about is you in a period of day, over a whole day, getting in your whole amino acid profile, getting in all your proteins throughout your whole day, not just meal by meal. Because your body digests protein over time and not meal by meal. And how you can counteract this is by eating from a wide variety of foods. And why I get so annoyed when people like Greg make videos about this is because they don't bring this up. They don't talk about why they think it's harder for vegans to grow on whole foods plant-based. Because the reality is, when you're eating meat, you're not going to be, I'm sure they can say this as well, they can testify that it's not healthy to eat the same foods for all of your meals. You're not going to be eating the same kind of meat. You're not going to be eating the same kind of protein for every single meal. Then why do you assume, I don't know why they assume that vegans do the same thing. Vegans aren't eating the same kinds of foods for every single meal. And how you can make sure you're getting in your complete protein is by eating from a wide variety of sources. That's all it is. You make sure you're eating from a wide variety of whole foods plant-based sources: beans, lentils, legumes, tofu, processed meat, mocha meat, seitan, anything. As long as you're eating from a wide variety of foods, you're gonna be fine. They don't talk about this. No, if you're eating meat, you're not eating the same kinds of foods every single meal. Same as a vegan, you're not eating the same kinds of foods for every single meal. Most healthy vegans, if you're healthy and you're vegan, you're going to be eating from a wide variety of foods. And that's how you're going to ensure that you're getting in all your complete protein in your day. That's why it's not hard. It's not harder to build muscle. It's not harder to, get shredded. It's not harder to grow as a vegan than it is a meat eater. Because the whole premise of why it's harder, it makes no sense. It's built on something that just makes no sense. It's built on this idea that vegans eat the same foods for every single meal, but that's not true. You're going to be eating from a wide variety of sources. Now, I advocate for whole foods plant-based, majority whole foods plant-based, but of course I eat processed meats. I eat junk every now and then. I eat from different kinds of different sources, but I try to make sure that I'm eating from at least 3 different types of protein in a day. And another thing is, when you're vegan, you're not just going to be eating like let's say you're going to be eating lentils or beans. Most often than not, you're not just going to be eating just beans. You're not just going to be eating just lentils. You could be eating lentils with rice. Lentils has half your amino acids, it's half your protein, and then rice has the other half amino acid. You combine rice and lentils, there you have a whole complete protein. That's how simple it is. Okay, you're not just going to be eating beans. You're not just going to be eating one protein. You're going to be mixing it with other foods. You're going to be, making recipes. You're going to be, dal and rice. Curry and rice, beans, curry and rice. You're going to be mixing it with different foods, and that's how you're going to ensure that you're getting in a whole protein. That's a complete protein. Beans and rice, complete protein. So this whole premise that it's harder to build muscle as a vegan, it's false. I've been vegan for 4 years now. 4 years. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's the same. I've eaten meat all my life. And I mean, like the time that I ate meat, I used to love meat. Every single day I used to eat meat. But ever since I went vegan, nothing has changed. My progress hasn't changed. I haven't gotten weaker, I haven't gotten smaller, I've gotten stronger, and I've gotten bigger. It's not hard. It's not harder. People need to get this opinion, this idea out of their head that it's harder on a plant-based diet than it is a meat diet. And I'm not going to say that it's better. I'm not going to say that it's easier on a plant-based diet to build muscle, to get shredded. But I'm saying that it's the same. Nothing is different. Nothing is different. The only thing that changes is the source of protein that your body is getting in. And whole foods plant-based is healthier, but that doesn't mean you're going to build more muscle. That doesn't mean you're going to get more shredded. It's just healthier for your body. And the health benefits are there's so many health benefits of choosing whole foods plant-based, but that doesn't mean that you're going to build more muscle. There's no difference, in my opinion, when it comes to building muscle, when it comes to bodybuilding, there's no difference between eating meat and eating plant-based. But health-wise, it's apples and oranges. Health-wise, whole foods plant-based diet is the healthiest diet, is the healthiest thing for your body, is the only diet that reverses type 2 diabetes, that reverses, heart disease. There's so many other health benefits that I could get into. But on a bodybuilding, on a purely physical level, there is no difference between eating meat and eating plant-based foods. So I had to say this. Greg, you're wrong. It's not harder as a vegan. Why do you think that it's harder as a vegan? You're going to be getting in the same amount of nutrients. You're going to be getting everything the same. When it comes to supplements, that's different. When I talk about supplementation, I feel like everyone should take the supplements that I talk about, not just vegans, not just meat eaters, not just vegetarians. Everyone should be supplementing with B12, with omega-3, with vitamin D. Everyone should be supplementing, not just vegans. Now, I hope this video changes your opinion. I hope this video changes your mind, and I hope this helps. And I'm so tired of hearing this nonsense that it's so much harder as a vegan, it's so much harder on a plant-based diet, because it's not. So I hope this helps. You can comment down below any questions you have, or you can ask me on Instagram, and I'm more than happy to answer. But I just had to get this out of my chest. It's been annoying me for so long, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.